Hello MotoGP fans, welcome back to ZNGP today. Marc Marquez has described the British MotoGP as his worst weekend of the season, following a challenging race at Silverstone. The Gresini Ducati rider finished fourth in the Grand Prix, coming off the back of a crash in the sprint race. Despite his struggles, Marquez remains determined to improve as the season progresses. Francesco Bagnaia's quest for victory at Silverstone ended in disappointment as he fell out of contention in the final laps of the British MotoGP. After leading for much of the race, Bagnaia had to settle for a third-place finish, losing out to Jorge Martin and eventual winner Enea Bastianini. The reigning world champion is now keen to analyze what went wrong. Jorge Martin came tantalizingly close to securing his first win since Le Mans at the British MotoGP, but ultimately fell short as Enea Bastianini surged past him to claim victory. Martin's slip on the penultimate lap allowed Bastianini to take the lead, but Martin believes the outcome might not have changed even without his mistake. Enea Bastianini's recent victory at Silverstone has thrust him into the MotoGP spotlight, but he remains puzzled by Ducati's decision to part ways with him and Jorge Martin. Bastianini secured a double win over the weekend, but his future with Ducati is uncertain. Don't forget to click subscribe button and the bell icon for MotoGP news update. Marc Marquez's performance at the British MotoGP was marred by inconsistency and crashes, leading to a tough weekend that saw him fall to fourth place in the championship standings. The weekend was particularly difficult, with Marquez struggling to adapt to his Ducati, resulting in a crash during the sprint race and a fourth-place finish in the main event. It's the worst weekend that we've seen him on the Ducati. Inconsistent through practice, mistakes, crashes. Crashed out of the sprint race. He never looked comfortable at any point. Quote from Neil Hodgson. The Gresini rider's struggles were evident throughout the weekend, with Marquez failing to find his rhythm on the Ducati. His performance was characterized by mistakes and a lack of comfort on the bike, which was evident in his inconsistent lap times and handling issues. Marquez finished fifth for much of the Grand Prix before eventually overtaking Alex Espargaro. He was closing in on Pecco Bagnaia for the final podium spot but ran out of time. The Spaniard reflected on the challenges he faced, particularly regarding acceleration issues and difficulties with bike setup. This weekend, honestly, we worked super hard with the team and they did an amazing job. We started with our base, but for some reason, and we need to understand why, we were super far at this track. Quote from Marc Marquez. Marquez acknowledged the challenges with acceleration and braking, which he believes affected his ability to compete more strongly for the podium. Despite these issues, he expressed satisfaction with his team's efforts and their progress during the race. From the beginning, I understood that something was wrong in acceleration. We had a small problem there, but we've already understood why. I was struggling on acceleration and I arrived too late on the brakes. As the season reaches its halfway point, Marquez has yet to secure a win on his new Ducati, slipping to fourth in the standings. Despite these setbacks, he has shown resilience and continues to perform well, often competing closely with the factory Ducati bikes. Not bad, not bad. Some mistakes. Some which are normal with a new bike, and some which I should have avoided, like yesterday's. But we are human. I am enjoying it with this bike. We're always in the top 5 positions. Marquez remains optimistic about the second half of the season, aiming to build on his performance and address the issues that have affected him so far. His consistent presence in the top 5 positions and his ability to compete with the latest bikes demonstrate his potential for future success. Marc Marquez's tough weekend at Silverstone has highlighted the challenges he faces with his new Ducati, but his determination and resilience continue to drive him forward. As the season progresses, Marquez remains focused on overcoming obstacles and striving for improvements. Stay tuned for more updates as the MotoGP season unfolds. Bagnaia was initially in strong form, leading the race until Jorge Martin overtook him, followed by a swift pass from teammate Enea Bastianini. Bagnaia's pace deteriorated, causing him to drop back and eventually settle for third place. The first thing I want to do this afternoon, and these days, is to check everything on the data and know everything, because I want to know what I did wrong. I was thinking that I was managing everything well in terms of pace and tires, but when Jorge overtook me I saw that he was in better shape than me and I started to struggle a lot. Bagnaia told Bike Crash. Bagnaia's struggle with the front tire, specifically the medium compound he chose, led to issues with handling and pace, which were exacerbated in the latter stages of the race. It's not the first time this happened to me. Every time I'm not fully happy with the front tire, like today we chose the medium, then I finish more the rear tire because I can't force the front to turn more. Despite not achieving his goal of securing a 5th consecutive win, Bagnaia remains focused on the positives. His third-place finish marked his 43rd podium, a significant achievement for both him and Ducati. 43 podiums is for sure a good number. It's starting to become quite huge in terms of numbers. Quote from Francesco Bagnaia. Bagnaia's podium finish contributes to a remarkable streak for Ducati, with the team achieving their 7th consecutive podium lockout, setting a new MotoGP record. When you put the best riders with the best bikes, you can have this kind of lockout. We are 8 riders, with a bike that has the possibility to win, and there are 5 or 6 riders on those 8 bikes that are the top of the top. Bagnaia's disappointment at Silverstone will fuel his motivation to improve as he reviews race data and assesses his performance. The upcoming races will be crucial for him to refine his strategy and address the issues experienced at Silverstone. We always check the data and it gives us motivation to improve. It's a great result for Ducati, but it's thanks to us that we are improving every time, Bagnaia concluded. Despite the setback at Silverstone, Francesco Bagnaia's resilience and dedication continue to drive him forward. As the season progresses, he remains focused on learning from his experiences and striving for excellence in every race. Stay tuned for more updates on Bagnaia's journey in the MotoGP Championship. Martin struggled with front-end confidence throughout the weekend, which impacted his performance. Despite a small improvement on race day, he admitted to difficulties with the bike, especially when leading. From my side, I didn't feel good confidence with the front all weekend. I struggled quite a lot. Today we did a small step and I think we are still finding our base setup. I didn't feel 100% and it was moving a little bit. Quote from Jorge Martin. Martin acknowledged that even if he hadn't made the mistake at turn 3, Bastianini's performance was formidable. When I saw that Enea was close, I was pushing to keep him behind, but I made this mistake. I think the result would have been the same. After a challenging weekend at Sachsenring, Martin managed to outperform Francesco Bagnaia at Silverstone, reflecting a positive turnaround. I think that either Sachsenring wasn't that bad, or that here it was the best day. We need to get a balance from all the season, and I think we are doing an amazing job. Martin viewed his second-place finish as a strong result despite the mistake, and he emphasized that titles are decided over the course of the entire season. The pace was fast and I tried to win until the end, but Enea was catching. I tried to stay with him, but it was impossible to beat him. He was on another level today. With the focus shifting to the next race in Austria, Martin remains optimistic and determined to build on his performance. I am 100% focused on what I can control. I cannot control if someone beats me. If I do my best, I do my best. Today was second and hopefully in Austria it will be a better result. Martin aims to enjoy the racing experience and continue improving his performance as the season progresses. Whatever comes, I will try to enjoy the feeling and enjoy everything that happens on the track, Martin concluded. Jorge Martin's resilient attitude and focus on continuous improvement highlight his determination to succeed. As he heads into the next race in Austria, his commitment to his performance remains strong, with hopes of achieving even better results. Stay tuned for more updates on Martin's journey in the MotoGP Championship. Bastianini expressed his joy at winning both the sprint and the main race at Silverstone, marking a significant achievement as he celebrated the 75th anniversary Grand Prix victory. "I'm so happy about the results of this weekend for me. I have thought a lot in this summer break to understand where it was possible to do something more." Quote from Enea Bastianini. Despite his impressive performance, Bastianini doesn't yet consider himself a title contender, acknowledging the consistency of his rivals Francesco Bagnaia and Jorge Martin. "For the moment, I don't think I'm a title contender. Pecco and Jorge have demonstrated more consistency than me in every race. If I want to be a title contender, I have to improve in that direction." Bastianini expressed confusion over Ducati's decision to lose both him and Jorge Martin, questioning the reasoning behind the move given their recent performances. "I don't understand Ducati's choice because they have lost two riders like me and Jorge. But I respect this decision." Bastianini, who will be joining KTM next season, has yet to test the bike but remains optimistic about the potential. He admits that without trying the KTM, it's hard to compare it directly to the Ducati. "About KTM, I think it will be a good bike for me, but I haven't tried this bike, and if you don't try you cannot explain what's the strongest point compared to the Ducati," Bastianini added by crash. As Bastianini prepares for a new chapter with KTM, he remains focused on continuing his strong performances throughout the rest of the season. "I want to continue like this for the rest of the championship. If at the end of the championship I have this opportunity, we will see," Bastianini concluded. Bastianini's reflections highlight the complexity of team dynamics and rider decisions in MotoGP. As he transitions to KTM, his impressive recent performances offer a promising glimpse into what he may achieve in the future. Thanks for watching ZNGP today, and this is your MotoGP news update. See you in the next video.